Putin cut deal with Wagner to save his skin, MI6 chief says in rare speech. It was a rare moment when the publicly visible Kremlin matched the reality behind closed doors. That is according to the head of Britain's MI6, who in a rare speech in Prague gave the first confirmation from Western intelligence that the boss of private military group Wagner, Yevgeny Prigozhin, did indeed strike a deal with Putin to end his advance on Moscow during the failed rebellion of June 24th. And he had, it seemed, been welcomed into the Kremlin to meet Putin days later. The MI6 chief, known as C, also expressed some bafflement at the tremors around the Kremlin during that weekend, and the speed in which loyalties were spurned and returned. If you look at Putin's behaviors on that day, Richard Moore said of June 24th, Prigozhin started off, I think, as a traitor at breakfast. He had been pardoned by supper, and then a few days later he was invited for tea. So there are some things, and even the chief of MI6 finds that a little bit difficult to try and interpret in terms of who's in and who's out. Moore also gave a rare indication of the continued health and whereabouts of Prigozhin himself, whose characteristically profane and frequent audio messages published on Telegram have recently stopped. Asked by CNN if Prigozhin was alive and healthy, Moore replied the Wagner leader was still floating around, per his agency's understanding. Western intelligence agencies have been reticent to comment on the failed rebellion, for fear of providing a false backbone to Russia's familiar excuse for internal dissent, that it is arranged and fueled by Western spies. Yet the on-camera speech provided an opportunity for Moore's expression to convey how shocking the weakness betrayed by Putin that weekend had been. He really didn't fight back against Prigozhin, Moore said. He cut a deal to save his skin, using the good offices of the leader of Belarus, he said, referring to the intervention of Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko, who struck the deal. So even I can't see inside Putin's head, he added. He has to have realized, I am sure, that something that is deeply rotten in the state of Denmark, to quote Hamlet, and he had to cut this deal.